In today's education news, the National Association of Head Teachers Union launches legal action over Ofsted reforms. The union filed a claim for judicial review in the High Court yesterday ahead of a debate on the motion calling for all legal and industrial options at its conference in Harrogate. Ofsted is obviously proposing to issue schools with one of 5 colour code gradings instead of the toxic one word, from causing concern to exemplary, showing that they're not actually changing anything really. Which has made the union warn its members that this new sort of report card, Nando's menu type colour system is only going to increase high stakes accountability and pressure, which is what needed changing from the old system. So it's basically going to be more of the same from Ofsted, which is what the union is against. The union is opposing the report card proposals on legal grounds, arguing that adequate consultation has not been conducted regarding the plan for a new 5-point scale to grade schools. They've said that any other possible options were rejected with no reference to well-being, despite Ofsted recognising that well-being is an important instigator for the changes. So these reforms were enacted in response to a coroner's ruling in 2023 that Ofsted contributed to the death of the Reading head teacher Ruth Perry. The union's General Secretary Paul Whiteman said somehow the focus on school leader mental health and well-being has got lost in this Ofsted consultation process, which I completely agree with. They seem to be wanting to wash their hands of any sort of responsibility, what they were found guilty of doing in the inspection of Ruth Perry's school, and instead trying to reframe it that Ofsted were never in the wrong, didn't do anything wrong. And you can see with the way that they're going about these reforms that Ofsted clearly don't think they're in the wrong. The fact that they're not really engaging in the right way with the profession, and in particular unions and school leaders, shows that they're only really focused on one thing, and that's Ofsted themselves. Further says here that there appears to have been very little thought given to the impact on the well-being of school leaders in drawing up these plans and the consultation that follows. School leaders are deeply concerned that the new report card system could result in an even worse process than before, with potentially disastrous impact on workload, well-being and retention. They say they have tried to engage with Ofsted in explaining this, but so far these concerns have fallen largely on deaf ears. We have been left with little choice other than to pursue this action. And this is Ofsted's problem. They are saying they're engaging, but only really doing these PR exercises like the Big Listen to then cherry pick what suits their agenda, because they seem to dismiss from this Big Listen the concerns of actual teachers working in the system, and only then sort of talked about what parents who, let's be fair, don't see the whole picture, don't see the impact the inspection process has, takes their comments to make it out like Ofsted are desperately needed, are there to improve things, when we know, working in the system, that they don't improve anything. All they do is check standards, which again, I'm not necessarily against, but the way Ofsted try and make out like they improve things when they don't shows that they're just so tone deaf and out of touch. To show just how out of touch Ofsted are, an Ofsted source added that at a time when budgets are squeezed, the union wasting money on legal fees for the sake of a few headlines shows where their priorities lie. I mean, I don't know. Who do you think prioritises teachers, school leaders, well-being, workload and mental health more? The unions or Ofsted, who were found guilty of contributing to the death of a colleague through their inspection process and are not learning the lessons with their new reforms? I don't know. You tell me.